So a question I get a lot is how do you deal with losses, how to deal with losing streaks, and I'm going to break it down for you because I'm someone that has lost. And the only reason why I may know more than you in a certain field is because I've lost more than you in that certain field. And in my losses, I always learn. That's the part of the game. You can never avoid losses. The best and most successful people have always had a loss and they've always bounced back from it and they learn slightly more after every loss. There's people that are ahead of me that have lost more than me. That's why they're ahead of me. I've lost more than you. That's why I might be ahead of you. You know, it's a part of the game. So first of all, remember that. Second of all, let's look at the mathematics. Say, let's use trading as an example, but this can account for everything, every sort of industry if you think about it, right? But let's just use trading as an example. Say that you lose. Say you got 10 trades. You lose 5 out of those 10 trades, but you've got a 2R, which means you risk 1% on a trade, but you gain 2% on a trade. Now, if you lose 5 trades out of these 10 trades, but you win the other 5, regardless of the distribution, it doesn't have to be 5 in a row. It could be 3 losses, 1 win, another 2 losses, and then the rest wins, you know? But you are going to be up 5% because look, 10 trades, 5 of them losses, that's minus 5%. The other 5 winners are 2% because 2 are. Now you're up 5% overall, okay? Because 10% minus 5%, 5%. Now you're up 5%. That's an elite trader sort of percentage to be on, right? The best traders in the world make between 1 to 5% a month, but they make it consistently. That's the main thing. 1 to 5% a month consistently is what you need to do. Don't be following these guys online trying to tell you to make 20-30% a month. It is not sustainable unless you're risking so much. And loads of you that believe that, I can guarantee that you have never ever made more than 5% a month consistently because you'd be a billionaire. Why is everyone not billionaires then? Go on all it takes for you to go on a compound interest calculator and go and type in what 10% a month would be if you put 10 grand in and over how many years, it would be billions, right? Use your brain, right? Be logical. Aim for 1 to 5% a month. It might sound, oh, that's not enough, but trust me, it is. Imagine you got 1 million funding and you make 1 to 5% a month. That's 10 to 50k a month. After profit splits and tax obviously is a bit less, but it's good and it's consistent. If you risk too much, you've got something called the risk of ruin, which is too high, which means that inevitably, based on statistics, you will blow that account. And you will be in a huge drawdown if you at least don't blow it. Okay? Now, to deal with losses, my number one thing is just risk less. I know everyone says that, oh, risk less, but I'm breaking it down in a way to help you understand statistics. The reason why you risk less is because your risk of ruin will be lower. And it gives you the mental clarity that the loss doesn't destroy your account. You should always be comfortable with the next trade completely, literally hitting your stop loss, and it should not change your life. If that hits your stop loss, and it shouldn't change your life if it hits your TP. You should risk a certain amount that it's comfortable, but it doesn't change your life in one trade because that's not what we're here to do. Same with if you're running a business. You're not gonna There's something called an A/B test in business, right? Where you do a test between two things. Maybe, for example, in e-com, you want to test 2 different products, right? So you want to do A/B test. You want to test a certain amount of budget to this product, certain amount of budget to this product. You don't just go all in on one product and blast all your income and savings that you've saved up to launch your business. You just launch it all on one product and then pray that it hits, and all of a sudden it just blows up on the algorithm and people start buying it. Because that's not how it works. You scale it, you run certain spend. Then if you get good engagement, you scale it, you improve it. Slowly by slowly, you learn from your losses. You might lose, some products might not work, and then you understand why that product doesn't work, you know? In marketing, you might understand why those ads don't work. In sales, you might have 10 clients that you have booked meetings with to sell something to them, and you try and sell it to them, and 8 of them are not hearing it. They're not buying your whatever you're trying to sell to them, but then 2 of them do. It's all about your risk to reward. You have to be smart about it. You don't just go all out on one and then give up after that. Okay? So to deal with losses, be strategic, lower your risk, and A/B test things. Okay? Now, another way to deal with losses is to understand that you are in a better position than a lot of people on this planet. You, okay, to watch this video, you get to have an internet. You get to have water to drink, food to eat, a roof above your head. A lot of people in the world don't even have this, and you're complaining and you're crying and you're getting in a bad mood, and you're, you know, just because you lost a bit of money that you know you can get back because you have a job, or you know, you can just save up a little bit more. It might take a few months, but what is a few months? It's fine, you know. In the span of things, it's nothing. So deal with your loss by understanding that you got to be grateful as well, and you got to understand that you can make it back. Don't ever over risk so much, because then you are a gambler. You're not a trader. You're not a businessman. You're not a successful person if you're gambling. You take risks, but you take calculated risks in this game, and you can keep taking calculated risks till the day you die, and that will increase your probability of finding success. Okay? Without that, without taking calculated risks, you're not going to be able to deal with these losses, because you're just going to literally lose so much that you will never be able to deal with a loss. So the way I deal with losses, I take calculated risk. Everything is calculated. If I make 10k profit, I will risk 4k maybe to reinvest, and the other 6k is going to go in more stable investments, or back in my bank, or on a property, or things like that, right? That's how you do it. That's how you position yourself that losses do not matter as much. Of course, losses will always hurt everyone, but you need to understand that it's a learning game. Like I said in the beginning, I might know more than you in a field, because I can tell you I have lost more than you in this field. I've just gained more because I've lost more, and I've learned from my losses more. It's all about output, literally. If you're trying to make content, and you might, your first 30 videos might get no views, and then all of a sudden you're hitting the algorithm. That's because you learned from each video how to get better. That's something that Mr. Beast even done. He didn't get any views. He did get views, but like not crazy amounts like he has now for like 5 years on YouTube, he said. Okay, so understand that, and you will be able to deal with losses, and you'll be a better person. Now, if you're into trading and you do want to get a prop firm account, then I have managed to get a discount with a broker backed prop firm account, not no crap one, and you can use the code HUSFunded to get a discount by a broker backed prop firm, which is Blueberry Funded, which a lot of you probably know because of their broker, which is one of the biggest in Australia. So if you want to get a discount on there, you can go below, and that'll be in the description. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like, comment, let me know what you want to see next, and we've got this, man. You'll learn from these losses, and you'll be a better person overall.